Welcome to Tech Blueprint, a window that lets you know the latest technology news in the world. From the moment TSMC lost its Huawei order and decided to build a factory in the United States, it gradually lost itself. It was unable to get rid of the US technology and was completely controlled by the Biden team. In addition to the 5 nanometers factory, it soon added the construction of the 3 nanometers factory, and even the 2 nanometers factory was ready to be transferred, with a cumulative investment of more than $60 billion. Originally thought that under the oppression of the United States, TSMC had lost its backbone, but Morris Chang, who had always refused to build a factory, still had a bit of temper. Just recently, Morris Chang suddenly said, Intel should focus on artificial intelligence, rather than transforming into a chip foundry. On the surface, this sentence seems very ordinary, but in fact it contains multiple layers of meaning. Intel's x86 architecture was once the sky of PC computers, and even Apple's notebooks had to use their processors. But after the ARM architecture tried to enter the desktop market, Apple computers directly discovered a new world. Apple's M-series chips have proven that the performance of ARM architecture is better than that of x86 architecture, which completely shattered Intel's pride. Now, chip manufacturers such as Qualcomm and MediaTek are ready to enter the desktop market, and Intel has been losing ground. In order to regain its own advantages, Intel is ready to shift its business core to chip foundry manufacturing, but the United States has gathered the world's top resources and even let TSMC do the wedding dress. However, Intel is ultimately a helpless ado, and has barely achieved the manufacturing of 7 nanometers process with great effort, making the U.S. Local Manufacturing Plan a mess. Is TSMC going to start to resist? Intel's factories are basically all in China, which also leads to a much higher chip manufacturing cost than TSMC, Samsung and other manufacturers. In addition, the shipment of high-end chips has been restricted in recent years, and the profit margin has been directly compressed. The sharp decline in R&D funds has made it difficult for breakthrough technologies to be born. The high-end chips and yield rates have not been improved, which has also made Intel want to retreat and has decided to hand over high-end chip foundry to TSMC. The United States is quite dissatisfied with the current situation and does not agree with Intel's divestiture of the foundry business. Indeed, for Intel, the current chip sales are not good. If it continues to deepen its chip foundry business, there may be a glimmer of hope. After all, under the influence of the United States, it can maintain a certain market share. But at this time, Morris Chang came out to give advice and asked Intel to focus on the field of artificial intelligence. This is obviously a pit, but Intel is now desperate and may really be fooled. The reason is also very simple. At present, the world's top AI chip industry chain is in the United States. If a certain amount of R&D funds can be invested, it is not difficult to achieve certain results. But considering Intel's influence, it is still very difficult to expand the AI chip market, because Intel focuses on the CPU field, and its advantage in the GPU field is not obvious. It is not a rival of AMD and NVIDIA at all. NVIDIA occupies 90% of the market share, and other manufacturers have no chance to enter. Morris Chang suggested that Intel enter the AI field at this time, which is obviously worried that Intel will not die fast enough. The Trump business is almost unsustainable. At this time, investing a lot of money in the development of new technologies is tantamount to playing with fire and burning oneself. Intel will not be so stupid. Foreign media responded directly. TSMC has begun to fight back. Intel is currently the only obstacle to TSMC's chip foundry business. If this company completely abandons chip foundry, then the biggest beneficiary will definitely be TSMC. Even if there is a big gap in technology, the United States has been supporting it from behind and continuously suppressing global manufacturers to give it enough time to develop. But even so, it is difficult for TSMC to gain the trust of the United States, because to them it is always an outsider, and it is impossible for it to become one of their own. TSMC has its own thinking, but if it wants to truly get rid of the shackles of the United States, it must resume supply to the mainland market. What do you think about this?